how has your days been for the past 2 weeks? I believe it has been pleasant, right? So, Master Chiamaka, how has it been?
It's been
great, right?
Yeah.
You radiate it anyway. All right. Okay. Now, can somebody remind us who the founder of Toastmasters International was? Can anybody remind us the name of the founder of Toastmasters International? If I don't find a volunteer, I'll volunteer somebody. Toastmaster Chinonso. You are Googling already. All right, in order not to waste our time any longer, the founder of Toastmasters International is Ralph C. Smedley. What does the acronym C there stand for? Does anybody know without Googling? Don't Google.
Is there a price?
Is that
Is there a price?
yes.
okay?
What's the price? Thank you.
It is with me. The price is with me.
Okay, so C stands for chestnut.
Chestnut. All right, put your hands together. I'm not surprised. This is a Mr. President of a club, so I'm not surprised. Okay, you want your blessing now? You want your gift?
Of course.
Okay, God bless you. Now, I'd like you to listen. This is for the benefit of our guest who is coming in for the first time today. Listen to what the oldest Toastmaster alive said when he was asked, tell us why you have decided to stay with Toastmasters International. Listen to what he said. His name, Emmett Clary. He said, the change in my life after joining Toastmasters was so drastic that I just would never quit. He says it is incredible. So, our guests, joining Toastmasters, Toastmasters is 102 years old this year, come October 27th. Wouldn't you want to be part of it? By the time we are done this evening, you want to join Toastmasters International. Again, fellow Toastmasters, good evening.
Good evening.
You know, I've always told us that in Unity Toastmasters Club, we do not need to outsource any role play.
Yes.
You want a Toastmaster of the day? Unity has it. You want a general evaluator that is down to earth, like Margaret Thatcher? We have it. So tonight, our Toastmaster of the day is a son or daughter of the soil. Okay. She's looking gorgeous, came in looking royalty. She graduated from Ahmadu Bello University and later worked with the Society for Family Health in the BCC and research divisions. She is a confectioner and pastry chef, spreading sweetness professionally. Can you hear that? She loves traveling, enjoys cooking. I'll pay you a visit to the house. Try new recipes. Wow, I like that. I think I have a hope of becoming bigger than this. She loves working with children. She is married with great children. She joined Unity Toastmasters to learn from the best, grow her confidence, and become the kind of speaker that her children will proudly coach one day. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, please put your hands together as I welcome Toastmaster Barbara.
Thank you. That applause was for our president. Now I need you to give yourself a rounding round of applause for being here to present Sunday afternoon. Yes or yes? Yes. Thank you, our ever dapper president, Toastmaster Timmy Robinson, for that very warm introduction. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. Do we have any guests in the house? You're welcome. And our online audience. I trust you've all had an amazing time today prior to this moment, but promise me it's going to get better.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see all your beautiful and handsome faces. And to our guests online, we are delighted to have you in Unity Toastmasters Club. We cherish your presence because every meeting without you is just a boring meeting. You add spice to our meetings. Thank you for coming. It is truly an honor and a privilege to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. This is my first time playing this role, and while I may be 99 steps away from the 100 mark, I am well on my way, and I will get there.
That's right.
Someday.
That's right.
As some of you already know, a Toastmaster of the day is like the master of ceremony to a top-notch event. My role tonight is to compare this meeting from start to finish, ensuring a smooth transition between meeting segments. So the theme for today's meeting is, drum roll, can we all say it together? 3, 2, 1, go!
The language of peace.
A round of applause for yourselves. So this brings me to my first question. What comes to mind when you hear language of peace? Anybody?
Harmony.
Harmony?
Wait.
Rest.
Sorry?
Rest.
Rest.
Respect.
Respect. What else? Language of peace. Unity. Calmness. Okay, you guys are giving me... Smile. You are giving me the definition of peace. I'm talking about language of peace, as in when carrying out a conversation with someone.
Apology. Empathy.
Empathy, okay. Empathy.
Soothing.
Love.
Look, soothing.
Love.
Love. Okay. These are all beautiful acronyms to the word peace. So I will define peace as a state of calm, harmony, and freedom from disturbance or conflict. It can refer to inner peace, interpersonal peace, global peace, whichever one. Inner peace, which is a sense of mental and emotional calm, even in difficult situations. Interpersonal peace, harmony between individuals, free from tension or disagreement. While global peace is the absence of war, absence of violence or conflict between nations. In simple terms, peace is both a quiet within and a calm around. Language, on the other hand, is a system of communication used by people to express thoughts, feelings, and ideas. It can take different forms, including spoken words, written language, non-verbal language. Spoken, the words we say; written, the words we write; and non-verbal, your tone, your gestures, and all. I now come to the definition of language of peace. The language of peace is the way we communicate in a manner that promotes understanding, harmony, and respect, rather than conflict or division. It is not just about the words we use, but also our tone, our intention, and attitude. The language of peace is expressed through kind and respectful words. In Toastmasters, we are known for respectful words, right? Yes or yes?
That's
Yes.
right.
Active listening and empathy. Somebody mentioned empathy. Patience and openness to different perspectives. Toastmasters is made up of people from different cultures, different backgrounds, with different perspectives. So you should be open to everybody's perspective. Then, non-violent and constructive expression. Peace has a language. It is not spoken through volume, authority, or argument. Instead, it is expressed through patience, empathy, again, the word empathy, understanding, and respect. The language of peace is not about winning conversations. It's about strengthening connections. In a world where words can easily divide, the language of peace reminds us that our words also have the power to heal, to unite, and to inspire. A typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 segments. We have the prepared speeches segments. This is where speakers have 5 to 7 minutes to deliver speeches based on their pathways. The second segment is the most interesting part to me. How many of us know that segment? Table topics. And that's the table top segment where members and guests have 1 to 2 minutes to practice impromptu speaking. That is thinking and speaking on their feet. And the last part of our meeting is the evaluation segments where speakers receive evaluations based on areas they have done well and areas they need to make improvement in. As we all know, feedback is the food for champions. Thank you, you are following. So as the Toastmaster of the day, I will not be working alone. The work is too magnanimous for me to carry alone. I will not be working alone. It is my duty to introduce the general evaluator who will assist me in running today's meeting. He will come up here in a minute to introduce himself and introduce the team. So our general evaluator today is, drum roll, there'll be enough drum rolls today, Toastmaster Eliaza. Please, a round of applause for him.
Good evening, Toastmasters and our guests.
Good evening.
You guys are still coming up. Good evening, Toastmasters and our guests.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to be here this evening at Unity Toastmasters Club, and my role is quite enormous. However, I'm sure I have a wonderful team that will play this role together with me. So you might be a guest and you're wondering, what is the role of the general evaluator? Our guests, what is coming to your mind?
You evaluate speeches.
Okay, please put your hands together for her. I don't just evaluate speeches, I evaluate the entire meeting together with the team and the evaluators that will be evaluating the individual speeches. And we'll do this by observing the meeting, all the role players, everybody that come to the lectern to speak, the sergeant at arms, the role players, we have the tag team members, which you will get to know in a short moment. And this is important because, like the Toastmaster of the day mentioned, we have 3 segments in Toastmaster meeting, and feedback is one of them, which will be happening during the evaluation segment. It is very, very important because we want to improve every day. We want to become better speakers. We want to become better organizers. We want to become better at the things we do. And this is very important. We take it very seriously in Toastmasters. They say table topics is the most interesting, correct? The evaluation segment is the most what? Important. Thank you. All right. I will invite my tag team members to come to the lectern to tell us what their roles are all about. And I would prefer to start with our timer because time is very, very key. Let us put our hands together as we make welcome our timer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Shalda Stanton.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests.
Good evening.
Today, or this evening, I will play the role of the timer. And my role today will be to help speakers manage their time effectively. I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker on their time utilization with the aid of these 3 cards. The green card means that speakers have reached the minimum required time allotted for their speech. The yellow serves as a warning that they are in the middle of their allotted speech and they should hasten to tidy it up. And then the red means you have reached the maximum time allotted for your speech. and you should conclude your speech within 30 seconds. Well, as you have heard from the general evaluator, for the table topic speakers, you are allotted just 2 minutes. At a minute, I will raise the green card. At a minute, 30 seconds, I will show you the red card. And when you reach your maximum time limit, I will raise the red card for you. Well, I don't think we have any icebreaker speech today. Do we have? Okay. For the icebreaker, you are given 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will show you the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And when you reach the maximum time allotted for your speech, I will show you the red card. And for other speeches, you have between 5 and 7 minutes. At 5, I'll show you the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. And then at the last minute of your speech, I'll show you the red card. And for the evaluators, you have 2 to 3 minutes to sum up your evaluation. At 2 minutes, I'll show you the green card. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. And at exactly 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card, showing that you are supposed to terminate your speech. Well, this is virtually my role. At the end of the whole thing, I'll come back with my report.
Thank you very much, timer. I decided to start with the timer because time is very important. And you know, in a football match, if you are shown the yellow card, it's a warning, right? Yeah. You will tread carefully. And if you don't, and then you are shown the red card, you leave the pitch. So, our timer, please take notes. Anybody shown the red card, SAA, silence at arms, you know what to do. Thank you.
It's not for mine.
All right. Next on my agenda is to invite the hour counter in person of Toastmaster Chiamaka Ndubisi. Put your hands together for her.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
All right. Today I'll be playing the Arcanta role, and my role as an Arcanta is to note the words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen to overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds including and I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, counter. And last but not the least, role player for today's meeting is the grammarian. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Merci Agada.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I almost said repeat the clapping, but you all tried. Thank you very much. Today, as the grammarian for today, I'll be responsible for paying close attention to language usage. I will take note of improper use of language, outstanding saying and quotes, or thoughts. As the grammarian, is also my job to review the word for today. And the word for today, also in line with the theme of the meeting, is tranquil. Can we all pronounce it together?
Tranquil.
Tranquil. So, which means, to define what it means a state of being calm, peaceful, quiet, and free from disturbance, agitation, or anxiety. So, for example, if I want to use the noun, that's an adjective. So if I want to use the noun part of it is she spoke with tranquility, even during a heated debate. If I want to use the adjective, I would say she stared at the tranquil surface of the water. So we are all expected to use the word of the day as much as possible. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be back to give my report. Thank you. And over to you. Sorry, also, just to review the word of the day. I almost missed that.
Under the hand.
Okay.
Thank you, grammarian. And to add to that, whenever the word of the day is used, we want to acknowledge it by drum rolling or stamping our feet. All right, Toastmasters and guests, you've met my team, and I assure you that we'll be at the background doing what we are supposed to do. And during the evaluation segment, you get an honest feedback. Now I hand over the lecture back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Eliezer Emi. Back to our theme of meeting, the language of peace. I have some key points on the language of peace. Number one, peace begins with listening. Peace begins with listening. The first word in the language of peace is listening. When we truly listen, not to reply, but to understand, we create space for respect and mutual understanding. A nugget goes, peaceful communication begins with when listening becomes more important than proving a point. I'll take that again. Peaceful communication begins when listening becomes more important than proving a point. Our first speaker today reminds us that communication is not only about being heard, but also about being understood. I will go on to call on the first evaluator to give the objectives of the speaker's speech. A resounding applause for Toastmaster Chinonso Akudinobi as he comes up to the lecture.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Well, I'm in the state of transport at the moment. So, it is a privilege to evaluate a seasoned Toastmaster, not ordinary person. The person of Toastmaster Timmy Robinson. He's starting a new pathway called Imagine Humor, Level 1, Project 1, Icebreaker Speech. The purpose of the speech is for members to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. We all know that he has passed that level. Timer, he has 4 to 6 minutes. Please take note. At the end of the speech, I will come and give my evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Chinonso Akudinobi. For the purpose of our guests, this next speaker is our one and only, our ever dapper president, Toastmaster Timmy Robinson. Let me read out his bio. A self-starting, highly motivated, positive thinking individual. Timmy Robinson is a national professional officer with an international organization based in Abuja. Toastmaster Timmy Robinson speaks French, and he is a music minister. He holds quality and aesthetics. Let me take that word again. Aesthetics in high esteem, and he has dislikes for mediocrity and the oppression of the less privileged. He joined Toastmasters to broaden his public speaking skill and to network. With the speech title Cornerstone, let's make welcome Toastmaster Timmy Robinson.
The stone that is rejected is now become the corner. Mark chapter 12, verse 10. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Timmy Robinson, and I was born on the 10th of July many years ago. I am an indigene of Odore, by West LGA of Kogi State, of course, Nigeria. I am an international civil servant, and I am also a Toastmaster. Would you like to meet a man whose life God has used to showcase his ability to create something out of nothing? It is me that you're looking for. Or perhaps you're looking for a guy whose life was directionless until he met God, who repackaged his life. Look no further. The guy is standing before you. You know what? Worse still is the fact that even his parents thought that nothing good was going to come out of his life. Thankfully, though, today, of all my siblings, if my parents have any need, they want to speak to somebody about their needs, the first person that they call, guess who? Timmy Robinson. And I give glory to God that one thing is clear. My parents and your parents do not have what it takes to determine how we end, because we did not come from them. We only came through them. You know, these are two different things. Coming from somewhere and coming through somewhere are two different things. Listen to this incredible story. I was 23 years of age, directionless, jobless, frustrated, having nothing to do. And out of frustration, I decided to accept the job of a house boy at the age of 23. And you know what? I was only able to stay in the employ for only 7 days. You want to ask me what happened? My mistress decided to staff me. The moment I entered her house, she told me, "You're not going to be fed. You have to wait until you earn your first salary so you can feed yourself." And so I had to engage in dry fasting, forcefully. After 7 days, I packed my things and went back to where we were living. We were living in Bacha, then in Lagos. The moment my sister, who is late now, saw me, she started weeping. "Oh, what happened to you? You have so emaciated." I told her my story. That within a period of 10 years, God had transformed my life. My mistress had traveled to Europe for greener pastures. And after 10 years, perhaps, when the pastures were no longer as green as she expected, she came back to Nigeria. During this period, I had started working with the organization that I still work with today. That was in 2001. She came back to Nigeria. At this time, we had placed in the major newspapers in the country, looking for suitably qualified candidates who will serve as disease surveillance officers for our organization, for the 36 states of the Federation and FCT. And she came to the office. And guess what? The person that she met was that 23-year-old houseboy. God had transformed his life. She came into the office, knocked. Good afternoon. Oh, how are you, madam? Because I recognized her. How are you, madam? She looked at me. Oh, for obvious reasons, she wasn't able to look me in the face. And with trepidation, she dropped her CV and left quickly. And then I learned a lesson, which is going to be my counsel to everybody looking at me now. On your way up, be careful how you treat the people that you meet. Because you know what? It is possible that you will find them on your way down. I am the cornerstone. Toastmaster of the day.
As it is our culture, when someone starts a new path and this icebreaker speech, give a rounding round of applause on our feet. Please, let's do that for the next 30 seconds. Thank you. You all agree with me that that speech was reflective. It was for me. The stone that was rejected has become the chief cornerstone. No one has what it takes to determine how it ends. Only God. Thank you, Toastmaster Timmy Robinson, for that wonderful speech. Thank you. Please, let's take 1 minute to evaluate the speaker using the CRC method. For the benefits of our guests, both physical and online, using the CRC method means you commend, tell us what the speaker did right. You recommend, just point out areas you feel he should improve upon, and then you commend again. We use the CRC method because it's the sandwich method. So timer, 1 minute for us to evaluate. Thank you. Time out. Key points on language of peace, number 2. Words can build or break. Words are powerful tools. A single sentence can calm tension or ignite it. The language of peace chooses kindness over harshness and clarity over confrontation. In simple terms, the language of peace is communication that builds bridges instead of walls, calms tension instead of escalating them, and fosters connection instead of conflict. Nuggets. Words spoken with care can build bridges where silence or anger would build walls. I'll take that again because I will ask all of you for the nuggets, and anybody that gives me the complete number of nuggets.
Complete?
I won't tell you how many they are, but anybody that can give me the complete number of nuggets. Nuggets. Words spoken with care can build bridges where silence or anger would build walls. Now I'll call on the second evaluator to give the objectives of the second speaker's speech. A resounding round of applause for Toastmaster Olivia Ikeji as she comes up to the lectern.
so much. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
It is my singular privilege to be evaluating a very seasoned Toastmaster. She will be speaking to us from the Presentation Mastery Path, Level 3, Project 1, and her speech purpose is for her to understand the types of persuasive speeches and to also deliver a persuasive speech today. So timer, please take note. She has 5 to 7 minutes to deliver her speech. Thank you so much. I'll be back at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Olivia Ikeji. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Rebecca Ayoade. She is a finance and business development professional with over a decade of experience across accounting, advisory, and donor-funded programs. She is a fellow of ACCA, CFA, a charter holder, a CFA charter holder, I beg your pardon, and holds a master's degree in professional accountancy from the University of London. She currently serves as the head of business development for West Africa at a professional services firm. Rebecca is passionate about financial discipline, leadership, and helping individuals and organizations make better financial decisions. With a resounding round of applause. Let's welcome Toastmaster Rebecca Ayoade.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and other guests.
Good evening.
Let me ask you a question. How many of us here have said, next month I'll start? See, quite a number of us here. How many times have we said, next month I'll save, next month I'll invest, next month I'll take my finances seriously? So many of us have said things like that. Some of us since maybe 2016, that's about 10 years ago. But here we are. A few years ago, I met a colleague at a conference because we had been in the same investment class years ago, and I asked him, so what are you currently investing in? And he smiled confidently and said, I'm still researching. That was thoughtful. It sounded very responsible and brilliant, of course. Until 2 years later, we met again. And I asked him the same question. And he gave the same answer. I am still researching. That was 2 years later. And it's not just him. Some of us here have saved the LinkedIn post that talks about investment. We have gone for the investment webinars here and there, both virtually and physically. We have even downloaded the investment apps. You name them, Bamboo, RiseVest, we have all of them. AfriInvest, we have them all. Some of us have even gone as far as opening the account, and then we do nothing. We convince ourselves that, oh, we are still planning, we need to get more money, maybe next month we are going to start. But in reality, we are just postponing. We are not making plans, we are not making any research. We are just postponing. Now, having worked in the finance sector for some time now, I have seen professionals who are well paid, who earn reasonably well, but they live from one month to the other. They live on one paycheck to another. And I've
also seen business owners who generate a lot of income, yet they have no safety net. Now, it is not because they don't have the knowledge or they don't want to, but because they have refused to take action. They have delayed in taking action. They are still researching. They are still planning. Now, let's look at it this way. You have two individuals, A and B. A starts small, but is consistent. B says, oh, next month when I get my bonus, I'm going to start in a couple of months. I need to plan. I need to do some research. But 5 years down the line, A has made significant progress, but B is still planning, still researching. You see, you don't have to wait for the perfect time. You don't have to wait for everything to align perfectly. Now, let me be honest. Even as a finance professional, there are times that personally, I have delayed taking any decision. I have refused to act, not because I didn't have the knowledge, but because I wanted everything to be perfect. I was waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect plan. But one thing I have learned is that perfect is expensive. Because while I am waiting to be perfect, time is moving. And time doesn't wait for anybody. And I've come to realize that the longer I wait, the harder these things become for me. And so, from my own experience, when you start small, you can make progress. You don't have to wait to make millions. You see, there's this quiet cost of waiting. You may not even notice it next month, not even next year. But when you look back, you may say to yourself, I wish I started earlier. I wish I started investing years ago. Because you get to a point in life where your earning potential starts reducing. Because for some professions, you may not have the strength like you used to have. And so you say, so what then do we do? Just start small. If you're an employee, start by setting something aside. Open that investment account. Start small. If you're a business owner, separate your finances. Create a buffer. And of course, if you're still researching, it might be time to graduate. Don't delay. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There's a saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. Today, when you go back to your home, before you sleep, take some time. Open that account. Set the funds aside. Make the decision to invest in your future, to save for the future, because you want to look back and you want to do something for your future self, that your future self is going to be like, oh, I am really proud of what I have done over the years. Because waiting is expensive. And the risk is not in starting small. The risk is in not starting at all. Delay. And this is what I refer to as the cost of waiting. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rebecca, for that informative speech. The best time to invest was 20 years ago, and those 20 years have passed for me. The next best time is now.
Next month.
Not next month. Now, Toastmaster Rebecca, I will see you after the meeting. So Toastmasters, we have 1 minute to evaluate her. We have the evaluation sheets on the tables. Please commend, recommend, and commend again. Tell her what she did well, areas she needs to improve on, and then round up with what she did well again. I hope we are all evaluating. Thank you, our timer. Key point 3 of our language of peace. Tone matters as much as delivered. Speak louder than the words themselves. Your words are
It's not death that a man should fear, but not beginning to live life. This was exactly a quote I got from a movie I watched yesterday. The reason why I shared it is just to catch your attention. So today we'll be talking about opening well. So I would be also, please can you help us to turn off the light so that people can be able to see what is being projected here very well. Can we all see now?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So I'll be working alongside this, just to do this. Okay, beautiful. So, where are those our guests? If you're a guest there, can I see your hands up? Fantastic. Guests. Okay, this is going to be more beneficial to guests or if you're a new Toastmaster. So, opening well. Color, please. Next slide. Okay, so this is just to tell you how you can be able to powerfully begin your speech. As a Toastmaster, one of the things you need to learn is how you can be able to open your speech very well. And this, in a broader sense, this is what we call like a hook, right? When I came, I just made a statement, and everybody will be like, "What's this person trying to say?" Next slide, please. So, how you prepare your opening will determine how people are going to listen to you and how effective your speech is going to be as it goes. So, the first moment is going to decide whether people are going to listen to you or whether they are not going to listen to you. And a strong opening captures people's attention. Okay, so next slide, please. So, what is the goal of you opening your speech very well? Is so that you are able to get the audience attention, so that you can be able to introduce your topic to them, and then build rapport. So sometimes if you are speaking to a new audience, you have to be able to build rapport with them, and that is the essence of a good or a strong opening. It normally takes 5 to 10% of the speech, so it's not everything, just the beginning. So how can you be able to do this? How do you do this opening, or what are the techniques you can be able to use to have a powerful opening, so that whenever you're speaking, people are going to listen to you and they will pay attention very well to what you are saying? Because if your audience do not pay attention to you, the aim of your speech has been defeated. Okay, so the first technique is you should state the importance. Okay, so in this strategy is like explaining your topic very well and why it matters. So let's say, for instance, for example, you say, if you don't sleep very well, it's going to affect your productivity, which is true, right? I don't know if anyone here have ever had that experience where they didn't have enough sleep. You have, right?
Yes.
Very good. Then it ruins your entire day. So when you're speaking to, let's say you're in a group where you're with people, because Toastmasters is a professional thing. So you're in an office or you're speaking to people, and maybe they are struggling with being productive, and it might be lack of sleep. So if you are saying that, you make it very bold and clearly, everybody's attention will be like, what's this person trying to say? Okay, so you can go. So this is an example. Other example, our ability to communicate affects our opportunity, right? So if you're not able to communicate very well, there are so many opportunities that you're going to miss, right? So let's move to the next technique. The next technique is by making a startling statement, by using something very bold or something that's shocking to begin your speech. So for an example, right, this helps to waken your audience, especially maybe you're talking where you want to start, you just say the statement and they instantly wake up from whatever they are doing, right? So for example, you say the fear of public speaking is greater than the fear of death, right? So everybody will want to be like, what's this person saying? So you mean me standing here to speak, right? The fear of people coming out to speak is greater than the fear of death. You understand? So that's a good technique, right? So the next technique is creating curiosity. Okay, so aside from even just speaking, right? Anything you are doing, then I'm a business person and business thrives on attention. So whenever you're trying to get someone's attention, you have to be very, very curious. Like, the curious shouldn't be obvious, but you should make the person want to anticipate what you're trying to say. So having a curiosity opening, making it in a curious way, will drag your audience attention. So let's see an example. So for the example here, last week something happened to me that completely changed the way I think about communication, right? You could also say it in a way like, last week something happened to me that changed my life entirely about why this government has come to change our life. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Or you say a statement, something that people want to know why, because everybody's complaining that the government is bad, and then you saying something like this, everybody wants to know what's this person trying to say, right? So let's go to the next technique. The fourth technique is storytelling. I think one of the things I like a whole lot is storytelling, right? Because when it comes to speaking, when it comes to presenting, when it comes to communicating entirely, human beings naturally loves stories. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because the moment, I remember when we were kids, right? One of the things I love very well is this statement, once upon a time. Oh my God. I will just shift myself and sit down because I know something is about to happen. So whenever you make your audience feel like there's this story you want to tell them, they will naturally want to pay attention. And that is very good for you as a communicator. So you can check, like, this is one of the examples, just like once upon a time that I said is also a good story. Like, I could say during my last speech, when I stood in front of the podium to speak, my hands were shaking because I didn't know what to speak at that instant. So a lot of people want to know, what are you trying to talk about? My feet was numb, and the only thing I could only hear was the sound of the AC. So that's what will make people want to know, what are you trying to say? Okay, so next technique. Okay, so asking question. Asking question is very, very good. Like, this is a very good way to take people's attention. Most of the time, it could be rhetorical. Most of the time, it could be like the way I asked I asked a question earlier.
Yes.
So someone reminds me of the question I asked earlier when I started. Okay, I think we've forgotten. So now the idea of asking question is just to say how many. Okay, there's a very good question I put there. You see, this one came to my head when I was like compiling. I finished everything. How many of you remember this guy? I don't know who knows that. Have you heard that?
No.
You've not?
No.
Please, who have heard? How many of you remember this guy? Somebody has raised his hand. Okay, from today, you start hearing it. This is how life works, right?
Okay, I know him. He's a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
Lucky Udu.
Yes.
Like, whenever he's
Yes.
doing content, he
Telling
says,
stories.
how many of you remember this guy?
Yes.
Naturally, everybody will be like, what's this guy saying?
Yes.
Who is this guy that anybody remember? So it's famous for that. So it's a way to take people's attention, like by asking questions. So the next technique is next please. Okay, so beginning with a powerful quotation. Like earlier I said, I made a quotation, right? It's from a movie that I watch. So sometimes to just say, like for instance now, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs once said, you can connect the dots looking forward. You can't connect the dot looking forward. You can connect the dot looking backwards. So when you start something like that by giving a quote, it makes the audience want to know what you're saying. And then another one is referencing, like telling people the reason why we are here. So sometimes if you go to a wedding, you say, why are we here today? You see everybody that are looking at the MC, what's going on? You understand? It's a good way to catch people's attention. So what should you avoid when I've showed us the techniques, right, of opening well? And what are those things you should watch out for? First is stop saying I didn't prepare today. Maybe you just come, you just say, Toastmaster said, come to the lecture, everybody has finished clapping for it. I'm just coming. Do you know today I didn't prepare for this speech? Automatically you have weakened everybody's enthusiasm. They'll all be like, so this person is not going to deliver anything valuable. Now, one of the things I learned earlier on, even before I joined Toastmaster, is that speech is value. You are giving people value, whether you like it or not. It's just like somebody paying for a product that you are collecting, exchanging. So whenever you are coming to speak, consider yourself that what you are giving people is something that they can pay you for. That's why you have people that they are being paid to speak. So you should try as much as possible. Even if you did not prepare, don't even start telling them that you did not prepare, because automatically you are telling them that they are wasting their time. Another thing you should avoid is not starting in a boring way, meaning speeches are are things that are supposed to excite people, whether you like it or not. Even if you are talking about mathematical concepts or anything that's complex, you have to make it exciting. So whenever you are giving a speech, there are times I do give speeches. I personally, I know I have messed up. Reasons are because, number one, the way I did it, I felt it wasn't as exciting enough. And it is transmutable. If you are not excited, people will feel it. Your audience will feel it that this person doesn't have that excitement. And you bore everybody and you go back. And I know a lot of things that causes you being boring is not preparing enough. At the end of the day, the most interesting thing about speaking is being prepared. If you are prepared, you will always, impact people. And then hiding the topic for too long. Make sure you go straight to the point quickly. So, final tip, as I've said, memorize the opening. Even if you are not good at remembering everything, but at least you should be able to know that when you are starting, this is what you should start. Please, can our light be turned on as I'm wrapping up? So, have a cue that helps you to grab their attention. So, as you have memorized it, you should have something that you use to remember your opening, okay, so that you won't forget what you are opening. And also, confidence builds credibility. Thank you so much, my tranquil Toastmasters.
Well done, Toastmaster Seth Kiauta. He said something that caught my attention. He said, how many of you lose sleep, right?
Yes.
Okay, a short story. One thing I do well, it's not really a story. One thing I try to do well before a big event. Me being the Toastmaster of the day today is a big event to me. So yesterday I slept early so that I'll be able to deliver today. I hope I am delivering well. Yes or yes?
Yes,
There's no
yes.
option of no. Yes or yes?
Yes,
So
yes.
I make sure I get enough sleep before a big event, which is this. Thank you, Toastmaster Seth Kiauta. We have 1 minute to evaluate him using the CRC method. Commend, recommend, and commend again. 1 minute. Our guest, I hope you are evaluating. Okay. Thank you, timer. Key point number 4 on the language of peace. Peace requires empathy. To speak the language of peace, we must learn to see from another person's perspective. Empathy allows us to replace judgment with understanding. Nugget number 4. Empathy is the accent of the language of peace. I'll take that again. Empathy is the accent of the language of peace. One of the best ways to practice communication is thinking on our feet. Table topics gives us the opportunity to respond thoughtfully. Sometimes the first step in speaking the language of peace. Now to the moment we've all been waiting for, the table topic segment. People are not as excited as I am. This is the moment I have been waiting for. And to anchor this segment, we have the one and only, the only SAA in the history of Toastmasters, as far as I am concerned. Toastmaster Robert Salihu.
Thank you so much, beautiful people, beautiful Toastmasters, cute Toastmasters. So I'm having good quiz here. Oh, okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
You know, Toastmasters are always gorgeous.
Yes.
And always handsome. So I am your table topic master this evening. For the benefit of the guests, table topic is an impromptu speech. You did not prepare for it. So you come here to think facts and ask the question between 1 to 2 minutes. Now, table topic is a long-standing Toastmaster tradition intended to help members develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly and respond to an impromptu questions or topic. So, I'll be inviting an experienced Toastmaster, or an experienced Toastmaster should volunteer to come and start with the questions, please. A volunteer. Okay, Toastmaster Mercy, thank you for being So in 30 seconds, you will say, I am beautiful, no matter what you say, no one can bring me down. Then introduce yourself. Thank you. In 30 seconds.
Good evening once again, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Permit me to pass, I can't sing. My name is Toastmaster Mercy Agada, and you can see I'm excited to be here because of the chocolates. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So I'm having question 1 to 7.
Okay.
If you choose 1, it means question 1. If you 7, it means you're asking question 7.
So you mean if I pick 7?
You're asking question 7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Don't finish
6,
it too.
7.
Okay. So you have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question.
Okay.
The question is, if you could deliver one speech to inspire peace globally, what would be your opening line? Should I?
Thank you very much for that question. The question is, if you are to give a speech to inspire the whole world, what would be the opening line? The opening line, of course, is going to be something that will grab everyone's attention immediately. So for me, I'm going to go for a powerful line that says, if you die today, what is one thing you'll be remembered for? And then I'll allow at least 30 seconds silent, and then I'll repeat again. If you die today, what is one thing you want to be remembered for? And I'll build up with that and add, the one thing you should be remembered for is how you make another person feel. And how can you make another person feel? Is by listening to them with empathy. It's by putting yourself in another person's shoe. It's by loving and extending a hand. And it's by us living in tranquility. And with that, I'm going to, of course, build with that, but that is one statement I'm going to open with. Thank you, and over to you.
Although she didn't sing, but I let her pass. Please, second volunteer. Okay, please. Thank you, Toastmaster Rebecca. Welcome.
Thank you.
So in you will say, I am beautiful, no matter what they say. No one can bring me down. And then introduce yourself. Thank you. 30 seconds.
Thank you, dear Table Topics Master. I thought that with Toastmaster Mercy, that some part would have been over. Unfortunately, I think I am in the same WhatsApp group with Toastmaster Mercy. I really don't know how to sing. Singing is not.
Accepted. Alright, so I'm left with 1 to 6. Question 1 to 6.
So do I still get more
Yes.
chocolate if I pick like say? Do you have like question 10?
Okay, I have question 1 to 5 here.
Okay. I thought we still have 6.
Yeah, but that 6 is hard.
Okay. So I'll go with 5 then. 5. So I can get 5. So this is 4 and then 1.
Thank you. So question 5 says, which world leader or figure best spoke the language of peace and why? Which world leader or figure best spoke the language of peace and why?
Well, thank you. So which world leader best spoke the language of peace and why? I think the leader that comes to mind for me, while it may be controversial, for me, I'd say it's Obama. President Obama. Why? Because I love the way he speaks. He speaks calmly. Before he speaks, he puts in a lot of thought. When I listen to Obama, I want to listen again and again to him. He's never in a hurry. He's calm. I think his Toastmasters background probably has an influence on that, but I love to hear him speak, really. And while I may say that people may say he wasn't a great leader, or may say he is, but to me, I love the way he speaks, I love listening to his speech, and I listen to his podcasts. Thank you.
The storyline rhymed with the question. So now I'll be calling on our guests to come and test the stage. So our guests, if you are a guest, stand up, but I'll just call because guests will not stand up. Hello. You want to pass? Just come, please. Just try. Okay. So I'll call Toastmaster Chamaka. So I will be reserving question 6 for our guests, so that they will pick 6. But since the first guest has refused, stop, please. Wait now. The next 30 seconds.
Okay.
Introduce yourself. I am beautiful. You say, I am beautiful. No matter what I say, no one can bring me down. There's power in tongue. So you have the floor in 30 seconds.
All right. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
My name is Chamaka Ndubisi.
Yes, she's a Toastmaster. She forget my son.
So sorry. This is my first table topic, so my heart is pumping. Let me just pick number 1. Yes.
No, let's joke in.
Okay, question 1 says.
Yeah, I will drop you back.
Question 1 says in 1 to 2 minutes. How can listening be an act of peace? Very simple.
All right. So in 1 to 2 minutes.
Yes.
How can listening?
How can listening be an act of peace?
All right. All right. Good evening once again. Well, It's actually a very simple answer, because the number one thing you want to do if you want to be a peaceful person, or you want to, promote peace, or just in general make sure that everybody is in harmony, or you're understanding each other, is by listening. So if you don't listen to understand, there's something the Toastmaster of the day said. She said you need to listen to understand, not listen to reply. And for somebody like me who is in the university, that every time we are listening to reply back, it's a competition. Like, you need to agree with me, not understand my own point of view. So if you really do want people to get you, and you want to be on the same page with people, you need to consider their point of view, their side of view. Because there's a video I saw actually on social media where the professor brought out two students, and then it's like an egg. So one side was painted black, and then the other side was painted white. And then he brought these two students. One person had to, come through this angle. The other person came through this angle, and then he was asking them, what color is this egg? This person said black, the other person said white. So they started arguing, and this person was like, are you dumb? This thing is black. The person was like, are you blind? This thing is white. So he had to tell them to, switch position, and when they did, they realized that the egg was not painted in full color. Half of it was black, and half of it was white. So the idea of listening is about understanding people's point. I get it. Is understanding people's point of view from the angle they are coming from, and just be considerate. Like, ask yourself, okay, this thing this person is saying, does it really make sense? If I put myself in this shoe, how will I feel? You understand? Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
So I still have one more person to call.
Yes.
Yes, our dear guest. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So in 30 seconds, you're a guy.
Okay.
And you say, I am handsome. Thank you, Lord. And then introduce yourself.
This song.
Well, I don't have to sing it now.
No, just I am handsome.
Okay,
Thank you, Lord.
I am handsome. Thank you, Lord. Okay, my name is Larry Chukwumobodo. So I'll have to pick now.
Yes, we have question 1.
No,
two,
question
no,
one
we
is
have question 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Okay, let me I have 6 here.
It's okay. You have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question.
Okay.
The question says, how can Toastmaster practice the language of speech in meetings?
Well, I think for a Toastmaster to practice the speech of listening is by sitting down and focusing on the speaker and also taking notes. That's it.
Wow. He's so short. You did well. Thank you so much. No, it's a chocolate. You can actually eat it. Yes, or you give it to your children. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of the table topic master. Thank you those who volunteer and the guests that came on stage to answer questions, and our dear guests that refused to come. I still thank you, because next time I know that you come to answer the question. Yes. So I'll be handing over to Toastmaster of the day in person of Toastmaster Bab.
We enjoyed the table topic session. Yes or yes? Yes. I did, even though I didn't get chocolates. She didn't call the TMO, the Toastmaster of the day, to come and answer a question, but it's fine. I'll see you after the meeting to collect my chocolates. The language of peace is also the language of constructive feedback. Honest, respectful, and encouraging. The evaluation segment is where members and speakers are given evaluations on areas they did well and areas they need to improve on. Please, with a resounding round of applause, let's welcome back to the lectern our general evaluator, Toastmaster Eliaza Emi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. It's been a wonderful meeting. True or true?
True.
All right, because of our time, we'll move straight to the evaluation segment. And we'll start with the individual speeches evaluators. And I would like to invite to the lectern the evaluator of the first speech to give us his evaluation. Please put hands together as we welcome Toastmaster Chinoso Akubunobi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster.
Good evening.
It is a privilege to be back on the lecterns again, evaluating the class presidents for an icebreaker is not something that somebody like you should do.
I don't know.
But well, Toastmaster Tim Robinson made it fun, pleasurable, and I think when you mentioned about listening, when he was delivering his speech, everybody were focusing on him because actually I don't want it to end. The story were so interesting. So your speech cornerstone was a master class in clarity and connections, the way you joined everything together. The moment you step onto the latent, your commanding pressure filled the room. Your tones were warm and inviting. I particularly appreciate how you use the scenario, what happened at a younger age between the mistress and how she finally found herself on your desk. It was a quite interesting story. Yeah. Also, your storytelling was not an abstract, just like people will say feature. It was not like it was a deep connections that what really happened through their life journey. It shaped your pace. It was deliberate. The way you are using your words was deliberate. Your vocal variety keeps us engaged and eye contact. Everywhere we are focusing on you. I personally feel it. What stood out most was the ability to blend the authenticity with polish, the way you garnish it, even though that it was an icebreaker. But for someone like you, it's not an icebreaker, it's a master class because we are learning. A project designed for a beginner, you demonstrated that seasoned skill can be served as a simple story without overshadowing it. Everybody can testify that. You gave us a foundation to understand not just who you are, but why it matters. What I would recommend is that, well, when you are giving your speech, you focus on the latents and people on this side. It's like you've forgotten people on this side. That is the only thing I was able to pick out from your speech. Finally, you already proven yourself that as a leader in this club, what I admire most today is your community of choosing a new pathway. Because some people, when they finish their pathway, they can just relax. But you show that in community. To stand before us, not as a president delivering a formal address, but as a speaker sharing a bedrock of who you are. You gave us a speech that was both polished and personal, and you set a powerful example that growth never stops, no matter how far you go. That is, you didn't mention it, but that was what your speech was all about. So when you finish, you continue again. I have no doubt that this engaging human journey will be a joy to watch. Thank you, Mr. President, for evaluating your first step. It's a privilege for me to evaluating your speech. In this note, You have met your speech objective, and I look forward to hearing more of this. Thank you.
Another question.
Please, our first evaluator deserves a round of applause. Who humbly evaluated the president. I think he came with a language of peace. Because he knows that the table can turn, right? Congratulations, that was a wonderful evaluation. Well done. We move to the next evaluator, who evaluated the second speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Olivia.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening once again, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I was privileged to evaluate Toastmaster Rebecca. If you are still researching, please, it is time to graduate. For those of us who are still thinking of the best investments, when next to save and all of that, please let us all graduate.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rebecca, for that. Toastmaster Rebecca's speech was very enlightening and very expository. First, I love that you started with a question. When she came in here, she asked, how many of us said, I would start saving this month? And then almost all the hands in the room, everybody's hands were up. What does starting with a hook or a question? What's the benefit of starting with a hook? It captures the audience. It grabs attention. It creates curiosity. Everybody wants to be engaged. What's coming next? It creates emotional engagement. Secondly, another beautiful thing I loved about Toastmaster Rebecca's speech was the content of her speech. Very timely, very relational. Almost every one of us here, in one way or the other, have been caught in between that investment trap. We have a way we'll be like, oh, I'll start saving tomorrow. Oh, I'm making so much money in my business, I can't hold anything. Thank you so much, because that was very, very relational. Thank you for choosing that topic. Very informational, very relevant. Then I loved her style of persuasion. She was supposed to give us a persuasive speech. And her style of persuasion, if you'll agree with me, was she used emotion. She used logic. She was not just everywhere, no you must. She moved from one step to the other. She made us see reasons why we need to save. Why we need to start making investment right now and not tomorrow. Your speech was beautifully amazing. Thank you so much. But what would I recommend for this awesome speech? The point where you talked about your colleague, you asked if he has started saving. I expected you to talk to us in your colleague's tone. Like that's vocal varieties. You talk to us like he's the one, not change your tone from your present tone to his tone. What does it do? It helps us understand the speech better. In conclusion, I would say, like you said, perfection, they say, is expensive. You did an excellent job in delivering this very tranquil, very purposeful speech. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rebecca. You did meet your speech objective very well. Thank you so much.
She deserves a better round of applause. And to the last but not the least evaluator for today, please put your hands together for our area director, Toastmaster Kyra Ali.
Good evening once again, tranquil Toastmasters and our delectable guests.
Good evening.
I want to believe that next time when our tranquil guest comes to this place, she will be very, very, very proud to come to the lectern. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Absolutely. So once again, I'm back with my report like I promised. Thank you, Toastmasters sets. It is not death that a man should fear, but not beginning to live life. I think that was profound for me. And in alignment with your speech, to help let me remind you of the purpose of the speech, to help the audience understand and apply effective techniques for delivering a strong and engaging speech opening. And you did exactly that by keeping us in suspense, because I was wondering, what has death got to do with this? Who died? Surely it was a big hook. You got us. I also love the fact that you had to illustrate your points by using slides. That was profound for me. Now, for a speech and a delivery as informative and enthusing as this, what will I recommend? Taking into consideration that when you have participants, in neuro-linguistics programming, we call it VAK, visual. You have some participants that are visual, some are auditory, and some are kinesthetics. I was expecting you to use infographics, pictures to help illustrate the points. Like when you were talking about the opening, I mean, you could have given us a picture of somebody who was scared and you see sweat all over the person's place. How that will immediately put off the audience, or something as similar as that. So moving forward, I would love you to always support your slides with pictures, because some people will forget the words, but the pictures tell stories. So use pictures. And I noticed that all through your speech, there was blackouts. Total blackout. I was struggling to, in fact, I was just seeing your silhouette here. I was struggling to get your body movement, your eye contact. Recognize that eye contact has a way of evoking emotions from your audience. If not for the fact that I was your evaluator, I would have cut off from your speech because I was kind of distracted. I was struggling to get your hand gestures and everything. So I would suggest you make sure that you minimize your slide, because I observed that the slides were about 7 for a speech of 10 to 15 minutes. So you could make it 3 to 4 slides, then you put on the light, then engage more with your audience through speech and illustrations. So moving forward, I will encourage you to reference your quote, because when you gave us this quotes, you didn't reference, but somewhere along the line, you recognize that he referenced Steve Jobs when he was talking about connecting the dots. And what does quotes do to speeches? It gives you credibility and it adds depth to your speech. So I will recommend that you use reference your quotes, minimize your slides, use pictures to help illustrate your slides, and you take your speech a notch higher. Overall, you met the objective of your speech. You are an incredible speaker. Please keep speaking.
Thank you very much to our area director. Please appreciate her some more. All right, we'll move to the tag team, and this time around we'll start from the grammarian. Toastmaster Mercy Agada. You can do better.
Okay. Good evening once again.
Good evening.
First of all, I'm going to start with the word of the day. Can we put our hands together for our AD? I mean, at first I was not sure what I was going to report, but then she helped. So she used it a total of 8 times today.
Wow.
Yes, and then in Toastmaster Seth used it once, Toastmaster Mercy used it once, Toastmaster Olivia used it once, and Toastmaster Chinosto used it but was wrong, so I'm going to correct that. So he said, I'm in a state of tranquil. And tranquil is an adjective, so it can't follow the state of directly. Instead, he would have said, I am in a state of tranquility. Should have used the noun, or rather, I feel tranquil to be here, or I am feeling a state of tranquility. And to also add to wrong use of grammar, someone said, I personally feel it when referring to the past. So rather, you would have said, I personally felt it. And also, someone said, I stepped onto the lesson. Rather, you would have said, I stepped onto the lesson. For quotes and saying that I loved today, I mean, there were so many of them, but just to mention a few,
I love on your way up, be careful how you treat people you meet. That was very profound. I also love I am the cornerstone. I think I'm going to write that and place it by the side of my bed so that I can, remind myself. And the cornerstone that was rejected became the stone. The stone that was rejected became the cornerstone. And also, another one is the best time to plant this tree was 20 years ago, and the next perfect time is today, now. And another one is, and my final for today favorite quote is, "It is not death that a man fears, but not beginning to live well." So, to add to the word of the day, one of the reasons for the role of the grammarian is that we try to introduce words that are not commonly used in our daily communication, basically. So for the word tranquil, I want to challenge you all to research on it and try to see how you can infuse it more to your daily uses, and that's how you're going to build your vocabulary. Search for the adjectives, search for the. I think we used to confuse that a lot, so that we can improve our variety, our vocabulary, and also become a better Toastmaster and a speaker in general. So thank you, and over to the general.
Thank you so much. Put hands together for her and Miriam. One more time. All right, I'll now invite the lecturer and the accountant for today's meeting in processing of Toastmaster Chiamaka Ndobisi.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
So I'm back to give my report. Yeah. So I don't know if it was how interesting the meeting was. I couldn't record anything. This is my second time I'm playing the role. Though I paid attention, I didn't really see anybody making the mistakes.
I was striving towards perfection.
But then I didn't.
Tell you, yeah, she tell you